All right, this is Decent Weezy People News. This is going to be an update of the barking AR-15 police cruiser girl. I don't know what to name her. All right, here we go.
Something that happened in Oklahoma the other day. I think yesterday or the day before. They get a call. They get a welfare check on this lady who's crawling around on her hands and knees, barking like a dog. So she's psycho.
Oh, she's sweet but a psycho.
And they stop and they get her, and then they arrest her and they cuff her, put her hands behind her back, and she gets out of the cuffs. Well, when she gets out of the cuffs in the back of that cruiser, she grabs the cop's AR-15 and starts shooting. Let's take a look at this story.
Tonight, an Oklahoma woman is in jail after she managed to slip out of her handcuffs in the back of a police car, obtain an AR.
Okay, so number one problem. In their protective shield, supposed to be where this camera is at, kind of keep an eye on them, where she could not reach in there, whether it's cage, whether it's a glass of some sort, plexiglass or whatever. So that's the number one issue there.
15 and opened fire on sheriff's deputies, according to local police.
How does that even happen, man? Here, put her in the same car where she's within reach of an AR-15, an officer's rifle, and she gets it and she starts shooting. Great story.
The shocking moments were captured on the car's internal camera and police body cams. On Friday, Grady County Sheriff's deputies performed a welfare check on a woman found crawling around someone's yard while barking, according to the charging documents filed in court. The woman identified herself as 36-year-old Rachel Zion Clay. A little bit psycho. Police handcuffed her and placed her in protective custody as
Hey, Andy, ain't she a beaut? Ain't she a beaut?
What's the matter with her, Paul?
Oh, I don't know, Opie. I guess she's just one of those girls that's got a peculiar hitch in her get along.
It's possible she was in heat. I mean, she's barking. I don't know. You guys answer that.
6-year-old Rachel Zion Clay. Police handcuffed her and placed her in protective custody in the back of a police car, according to the court documents. But while deputies were outside the car taking statements from civilians nearby, Clay managed to slip out of her cuffs and access a console in the front seat labeled gun, the undersheriff said in an interview. They say she was then able to load a round into the chamber and fire outside the vehicle. Body camera footage released by police show moments shots rang out. Confusion as deputies try to figure out what just happened.
Apparently, this guy right here was struck by one of the bullets, and he went to the hospital. I don't know what kind of condition he's in right now, but I don't know. It's like, how do you make that kind of mistake? Not very professional, putting this woman or anybody in a cop car where she might have access to a firearm.
Figure out what just happened.
Maybe I'm hit right here.
One civilian receiving a wound to the chest. He's later taken to the hospital, according to NBC affiliate KFOR. While the sheriff's deputy is only grazed by the bullet. As the deputies and the wounded bystander take cover and call for backup, more shots.
Yeah, he's actually bleeding a little bit right there. You can see it on his shirt. Or I think that right there. I think that's a spot of blood.
Bystander take
See that right there?
cover and call for backup. More shots ring out. Law enforcement expert Cheryl Dorsey weighing in on the incident.
Sometimes women are smaller frame and they have the ability to slip their hands through the cuff, even though the cuff may itself be locked.
With the arrival of backup begins an hours-long standoff as Clay barricades herself in the police car.
Okay, so she barricaded herself in the police car. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. When you put them in the backseat in custody, ain't them doors locked? I mean, if that wasn't the case, couldn't anybody just walk out of the door and get out of there? So she's barricading herself in a locked vehicle. All right. Now, that being said, I do not know about the front part of the car being got the cage or shield. I never seen one without one, so that's up to y'all's discretion. I just never seen one without one. All right, but that's the number one issue. She barricaded herself in a locked car. Okay?
Are refusing to emerge after
You have a right to.
Refusing to emerge, all right? She's not even all there. She's in a locked vehicle, allegedly. And she's, she's not having her thinking process even how to get out of the vehicle. I think she's just on an automatic pilot of just going off the whim.
Be silent. You have a right to a firearm. If you don't have one, one will be provided for you. At least in this county.
3.5 hours of negotiations with police and the deployment of an armored breaching vehicle, the woman finally surrenders.
Okay, so the woman finally surrenders, but allegedly, how did she get out of the car still? If it's supposed to be automatically locked and there's supposed to be a protected shield in the back seat from the front seat, and her be able to get a gun.
If it means saving a life, you take as much time as you need in order to bring this tactical situation to a successful conclusion.
Court documents from her arraignment on Monday include notes she allegedly managed to write while barricaded, reveal.
So it's hearing all this chaos. Somehow or another, I'm under the impression there's supposed to be a protected shield there in the front seat. So she reaches to a console to be able to grab a pen. Why not? She already grabbed a gun, right? And got a piece of paper to write on a piece of paper. I'm just saying, you can't make this stuff up, y'all.
Her disturbed state of mind. Efforts to reach Clay were unsuccessful.
Wait, what was the book in the background?
Situation to a successful conclusion.
Who's Black and Blue? Whose book is that? Black and Blue.
Court documents from her arraignment on Monday include notes she allegedly managed to write while barricaded, revealing her disturbed state of mind. Efforts to reach Clay were unsuccessful.
So she's letting the courts know that she was disturbed. I'm conscious enough to grab a gun. I'm conscious enough to grab a pen. I'm conscious enough to grab a piece of paper and be able to do all these things. However, when I wake up, I'm not going to remember nothing.
And she was not represented by an attorney at her initial court appearance.
So initial court appearance, she was not even represented as an attorney. And dare I say it, y'all, she's not at sound mind. They needed to give her attorney at this case on with her. You guys already know how I feel about attorneys anyway. However, at this stage of the game, they needed to have attorneys there. So she is not a sound mind, and her due process was not actually activated because she has a right to counsel when you don't have cognizance of decisions you are making.
It was a compilation of errors. I get that you want to have easy access to a AR-15.
I get that.
Get easy access to AR-15 through the back seat. I may need to be in the back seat, so somehow or another, I need to make sure I be able to get to my AR-15.
You want to have easy access to a AR-15.
But not when you have a suspect in your vehicle. Another officer could have and should have been monitoring visually the suspect who was seated behind the car.
Clay was charged with 3 counts of shooting with intent to kill, and according to court documents...
Okay, see, and dare I say it, y'all, I'm not on her behalf. However, she is not right in a state of mind, so how can they claim that she had intent to kill? I mean, she allegedly was barking like a dog all over the ground. She pulled out a AR-15, started shooting at officers. She managed to get a pen, write a letter saying that she was not in the right state of mind. I don't know. So just this whole case in general, they're going to add the intent to kill. She wasn't pointing the gun at anybody particular. She's just shooting. Alright? So, you guys can argue the semantics on that. I'm just giving an opinion. Right?
Is currently being held on $1 million bail.
All right, Maya Eaglin joins us now here in studio. So, Maya, is the sheriff's department going to do anything different now? Because obviously this woman seemed to get there pretty fast.
Right, so they're actually going to remove that console labeled gun, and they're going to find a new location for those.
They're going to remove the console labeled gun. Okay, nobody even knows what a gun looks like. It don't even need to be necessarily labeled. So why did they even bring up the label part on a gun, y'all? Alright? Might as well say, do not touch. Alright? Oh my God.
Labeled gun for your convenience.
Extra weapons, and also provide some additional training for their staff.
So,
Okay, extra training for their staff. Okay. Let's just go with allegedly most cars actually have the safety glass. It's not the training itself as per se as what was the equipment in lie is the problem. How did she get from point A to point B to point D? Or point C to point D, right? I'm under the impression there's supposed to be safety glass, but this the officer's vehicle may not have it, or it wouldn't probably be so easy. However, the negligence of the officer putting her in handcuffs in a back seat without any protections whatsoever from between the front seat and back seat. Don't talk about me about officer safety if that's the case. Okay? Anyway, this will be People News. Well, let's see what else is there. I mean, she barricaded herself. She actually was shooting. The first thing she don't want to do is jump out of that car in a hurry. Or even slowly. You know what I mean? Within a short period of time. You want to let everybody around you be calm when you move that vehicle.
Black and Blue was written by, I didn't catch the name of this lady who was speaking. Black and Blue is written by Cheryl Dorsey. Is that who that was speaking?
Okay.
Is that Cheryl Dorsey?
Laying it on the
Yeah,
incident.
Cheryl Dorsey. So she's promoted.
Alright, so anyway, that's my opinion on that. This whole thing was what can I say? Bound to happen over a period of time somehow or another if there's no plexiglass or any guards between the back seat and the front seat. Allegedly. I don't know. You guys tell me if you guys seen any of these police vehicles without this safeguard. And if there is, how did it get from her into that officer safety area? Oh, barricade herself in there. Well, she was in locked doors and all that. She was not a sound of mind. How she unlocked the doors to get out? And at the very end, or did she had to go through the process of thinking how to get out in the first place? So she wasn't technically barricading herself in. She was not a sound mind, and she was probably trying to figure out how to get out. Allegedly. This will be the People News. Bye, y'all.